Trigger warning. You are about to see cards with low numbers on them. You may also experience sarcastic humor. If you are offended by this, you may not want to watch. Do you know what I like to do? And everybody's showing their top 50 card videos based on price. I like to look at some baseball cards. All right, guys, this is going to be a not top 50 video. First, if I had to pick a top 50 cards, which I'm not sure I could because I don't have just 50 favorite cards. I have way more than that. And I certainly don't have, I certainly wouldn't base them on price or on a number on a slab. Because if I did, I would, this would be in my top 50. I know at the boom, this card was selling for $59,000 just because it has a 10 on it. I have a hobby friend who had a 10 Larry Bird, and he sold it for like $50,000 and bought himself a 52 Mickey Mantle, and then bought one in a 9 for $200. I find it absurd. So if anybody wants to give me $59,000 for this, I'll travel to you and you can have it. Preferred cash. That said, I thought instead I would just show a bunch of rare cards and cards that I love. And I will start with now, these are 1910 W555. This is Hannes Wagner. These were cut off the side of a box. And this is one of Hannes Wagner's rarest cards. The grading companies mislabeled these as 1907, and later I've seen them at 1909. Just another mislabel, or it's a multi-year set, which I don't believe it is. But anyway, this is a Hannes Wagner, and I work on this set. I have a bunch, but I thought I'd show you two scarce superstars. Rube Waddell. This is another card that the grading company mislabeled. This is Ray Dandridge, and it's from a Cuban set, Carmelo Deportivo, but they mislabeled the year. This is actually from the way more scarce following set. Ray Dandridge does not have a lot of cards. A great Negro League player. I just showed this, but I'm going to show it again because these are scarce and also mislabeled by the grading companies as bond-bred exhibits, which they are not. But a really scarce exhibit set here. Ralph Kiner. This is a 1928 Tabacalera. These were out of El Salvador. And this is the only copy ever graded of John McGraw. These were so beautifully colorized. And look at that mitt. This is the only one ever graded. This is, at least by PSA, this is Quincy Troop. He was a really good catcher in the Negro Leagues. His name was originally pronounced Troupe, but he later changed it. He's from South Carolina. He finally made it to the majors in 1952 for a short stint. And when he caught for Sam Jones with the Cleveland Indians, they became the first black battery in the American League. This is a 1911 baseball bats. Super rare set. This is Ginger Beaumont, a really good hitter. Had a lot of hits. good outfielder, and he had the first at-bat in World Series history in 1903 when he led off for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was fast and got a lot of infield hits. These are blank back too. Baseball bats is one of the rarest sets in the hobby. This is an 1887 Kalamazoo bats. Another one of the rarest sets in the hobby. And this is Harry Stowe. These are near impossible to find. This is the only guy who's in 5 Baseball Hall of Fames. Martin DeHigo. This is the more common year here, and this one's more scarce. He was an amazing player. Played like every position. He was a pitcher and a positional player. Faced Satchel Paige twice in his career and beat him both times. If you're not familiar with him, he's the one baseball player who should be way up there with Jackie Robinson, Josh Gibson, Babe Ruth, all those guys. This is Matt Kilroy. This is an 1887 gold coin. Near impossible to find a Matt Kilroy card. And he's the leader in strikeouts all time. It's something like over 500 strikeouts. Cool set. Old set. This is a very scarce 1910 orange border Ty Cobb. Again, cut off of boxes, as so many of the scarce and rare cards are. Not a super rare card, but these cards are all kind of tough. And this is a Ramley Chief Bender. And these cards are beautiful. All right, this is one of the rarest sets in the hobby too, and this is a 1903 Bresh Williams, and this is Sock Siebold. And of course, Sock Siebold was responsible for making sure Shoeless Joe Jackson came back and played in Philadelphia. Connie Mack was rebuilding the team. He was at the end of his career. And he sent him to Greenville to pick up a young prospect who kept running home because he hated the big city living. So Sox got Shoeless Joe on a train. They had dinner. They went to their berths. In the middle of the night, Shoeless Joe jumped off, ran back to South Carolina, and Sox had to go get him. So if it wasn't for Sox, we may never know who Shoeless Joe was. This is an oversized cutout, W554. I just showed another one on my last video, but this is Lou Gehrig. These are very scarce. This is a W.M. Dick 1909 postcard issued during the World Series of Honus Wagner. I've actually never seen another one. Still has the postage stamp on the back. Very scarce. Eddie Plank here. 1910 sepia postcards. Tough set. And beautiful images on these. Postcard back. These are 2 very scarce postcards. These are the 1906 Lincoln publications. This is another Sox Siebold. Postcard back. And this is Doc Powers. Set I love is the Willard Chocolate from 1923, Rogers Hornsby. One of my favorite cards. And this is a Walter Johnson, and it's very scarce. This is a 1923 Maple Crispet Walter Johnson, a very scarce set out of Canada. But this one's extra special because it's a blank back, and the blank backs are very scarce. I've seen other blank backs, not many, but I've never seen another Walter Johnson blank back. This is a 1922 W575-1 Walter Johnson, and this is the only one PSA ever graded. If you go onto their website and look that set up, you will see the picture of this card. It sells for far less than a 1987 Tiffany in a PSA 10, though. These are W575-1s as well, George Sisler, and these are both versions. Scarce cards. This is not a Ty Cobb you see every day. This is a 575-2 from 1922. This set is also known as the Shoulder Signature Series because they always have the signature across the shoulder. Now these these are W501s from 1922. They're a scarce set. This is Cy Williams. And Cy Williams was considered to be the National League Babe Ruth. He won the home run title 4 times, and he's one of only 3 players born before 1900 to have amassed 200 or more home runs. And the other 2 are Rogers Hornsby and Babe Ruth. And he's one of those great players that nobody ever heard of. He also was a fantastic fielder with a very high fielding percentage. Now, there have been 4 copies of these graded. I have 2 of them, and this is the highest one ever graded. This is just a card I absolutely love. 1921 Oxford Confectionery. I have a few from this set, but I love this Walter Johnson. Shows him batting. This is the W502 from 1931. These images have the same images as the ice cream cards, the Harringtons, Tharps, Yingling, and Sweetman. But they were a game. I have that right side up. No. They were a game. Very scarce. This is Rogers Hornsby. I have a few from this set too. Very low pop. In fact, these may be lower pop than the ice cream cards. This was a set that wasn't discovered until 1990. 1926 Spalding champion Babe Ruth. Not one you see every day. I know when I bought this, shortly after I bought it, I had subscribed to Sports Collectors Daily, and they used to highlight some auctions, and they were talking about this set and this card, and they said that one hadn't been auctioned in 5 years or 6 years or something, and they only had one sale, and they used my purchase as their comp because it's all they had. And this is a coupon. So one of the reasons these are so scarce is that you could turn them in for coupons for sporting goods. And I guess you didn't get the card back, so you had to turn them in. And that's why a lot of sets become rare or scarce. This is a 1925 to 31 W590 super rare set. Super rare. And this is a Thai cob. It's a little crudely cut. These were hand cut. But I'm so glad to own any copy of this card. Not a pose you see every day, and not a card you see every day. It's a Boggart chocolate, 1930. These are all like single digit pops. Lefty Grove. Cuban issue. Little tiny cards here. And this is a 1933 W574. These are tough, very low pop cards, Lefty Grove. I have, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these. I'll pick up this set when I find them. I have lots of other rare and scarce vintage cards, but these are some of my favorites. And I just wanted to show them, share them with you. You know, I don't rank my cards based on price. So, and I really don't know the prices. I don't keep a spreadsheet or anything, so I couldn't possibly put together a top 50 based on price. But that's what I have for you. And if anybody wants to give me $59,000 for this, I will gladly meet you wherever you are. Just let me know. Thanks for hanging out with me.